this is Jyotsna Hegde with NRI Pulse. Joining us today is Manmeet Saini. She is the author of Ram, God or Good Governance, soft launched by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. She was named one of the top 10 influential women of 2023 by Indian Alert, a renowned news platform. Manmeet Saini is the founder and CEO of Phygiverse Solutions Private Limited. Her quest for knowledge took her to diverse programs, including Harvard's Religion, Peace, and Conflict Management. As part of Transforming India, Transforming World mission, the author has been actively involved in social and political initiatives aimed at creating an equitable society. Manmeet, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Jyotsna. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
So let's get right to it, Manmeet. So talk to us about the book and the gist of it.
So Jyotsna, basically, religion and politics are two dynamics, which are, I would say, fundamentals of people to talk and discuss about everything. So here I'm trying to do an intersection between religion and politics from the perspective of Ram, not just as a religious figure, but what all things he has done, like from his transparency, accountability, his acts of citizen participation, or you would say seeing him as a symbol of social justice. When you talk about politics in today's world, we talk a lot about environmental sustainability, we talk about social justice, we talk about interfaith relations. They play a major role in politics in today's term, because completely focusing on India, it's not just one side. So interfaith relations play a very important role. So trying to give that perspective that Ram Rajya is one of the ideal situations to for good governance. So basically, the crux is all about interrelationship between religion and politics, amalgamating it together and giving a perspective to the people to not see them as an individual, but see them together and understand that together, if we follow these fundamental principles, yes, then we should not see him just as God, but also understand that, yes, he can be a very good as a governance point of view also. So there are perspectives which shows that how, certain belief says that abundance of Sita was like not taken in the right way, or so all these aspects has been proved that there's a good and a good and bad side of everything, but how you need to accept that to run the governance, there are a lot need to be done. So, for example, if he's trying to follow citizen participation, or he's trying to be transparent or accountable for certain factors, then yes, that needs to be done. So this is the crux.
So what was the inspiration? Why now? Was there something, maybe the Ayodhya Ram Mandir, was that the inspiration? Is there something where it sprung from, the idea?
Yes. So on my professional grounds, I work a lot with UP government, Uttar Pradesh government. So from past 2 years, I would say, before the launch of Ayodhya temple, we were in terms talking and discussing how to go global with the Ayodhya launch. And, a lot of people, a lot of articles actually said that one of the major parties of India are kind of making Ayodhya as their USP, and trying to tell people that how Ayodhya should be the ideal thing. So working on the same lines, so there was a lot of research going on from past 2 years. What do you say behind the scene? So behind the scene was becoming so strong. So working on the same project, I kind of realized that yes. It's a very niche thing, but in a way, if you need to go to masses, so probably a book can help people. So the major point of writing this book was going to libraries and public schools, because years down the line, I feel that children will not be aware that what was the need of Ayodhya temple coming back in 2009 21, and what exactly happened in 2019, what happened in 21, what happened in 24. So basically, just make children understand of next generation that there is a reason that launch of Ayodhya and politics. So basically, the making youth aware about religion and politics and the interrelationship. There's a very thin line between religion and politics, I feel. So
Yes.
just to make them understand in a subtle way. personally feel good governance is, for me, transparency matters a lot. Good governance, for the first factor is transparency, followed by accountability. What you're doing and accounting what you are addressing it. Plus citizen participation. Because if you are, I don't want, because probably it's a democratic country. So yes, citizen participation is very important, I feel. So one should feel that yes, you're part of it. And it's your decision that whatever is happening today, somewhere, there your contribution is there. So I feel these three factors play a very important role: transparency, accountability, and citizen participation.
So, in your book, you talk about the challenges, faced by modern day governments, in implementing, these good governance, as you mentioned. So, what are these challenges?
uh,
Mhm.
I will not particularly refer to, the challenges you're asking about, the governance which face challenges, or with the good
See, the good
governance.
when somebody wants to implement good governance, what I mean, in terms of the book, in terms of Ramarajya. So today, what would be, the challenges that they would face?
I feel that any ex-person, if wants to try something good, there's always a why factor, stating it and going against it. So even if the why knows that this is happening for the good, but there will be some kind of motion which would like to pursue it and state it that this is probably not the right way. Because I personally feel no two minds think alike. So even if the person wants to agree, there's this another mind trying to convey that this is not the right way. Because even siblings don't think alike. So here we are talking about running a nation, where I'm talking about a nation which has billion plus population. So there's always been, on the other side, there'll always be a lot of contradictory, there'll also be a lot of controversy. So that's always going to be the challenge. So there'll never be a one right side. So
Right.
one needs to accept it, that there one has to accept. So that's why I'm saying accountability is a very major thing here, because you need to know and even accept it. You cannot be right all the time. There can be times you have, but you should be transparent that whatever you have done, people should be aware. You should let other people participate in it, because they should be aware that at the end of the day, their decision, whatever they're doing it. So I feel these are the factors which are always going to be there. And in some way, these are the challenging factors.
So what, you talk about religion and politics. So what is it? In your mind, what is the intersection? See, the reason I bring that up is because, here we talk about since this goes back to centuries, right? We talk about separation of church and the state. So in your mind, what is the intersection really between religion and politics? What should be ideally the intersection between religion and politics?
See, religion itself is a very vast term, I would say, because there are so many different philosophies talking religion in a different way. One would say religion is described in X way. Other would say, the religion comes from the Big Bang Theory. It's backed by science. It's backed by art. So religion itself is a very vast term, I would say. Now, interrelating religion and politics in whatever we are doing, religion, politics, and money, are these the three fundamentals? Money came way later than religion and politics. So religion and politics are basically the fundamental one, base one, I would say. And then base two comes as money. So when we are talking about base one, um, there's a lot of politics in religion itself. uh, uh,
And the other way around too.
other way around too. So in a way, it's the same track going in same direction, but on a separate. I would say it's the same track going in the same direction, but parallelly. So this is my understanding, that the next youth needs to understand, because I'm not an expert. Then we are so used to googling all the time, just seeking answers. We just, all we want to do is just ask Alexa, ask Google. So in my initial stages, when I'll ask Alexa, tell me something about a relation between religion and politics. She will just give me one answer, definition of religion, and one answer of politics, and then they'll say there is no connection between religion and politics. They are two separate things. So this was one of the major agenda of me to write the book, so that people can understand the amalgamation between the religion and politics, that no, they are not two separate things. They are in a way in one thing, because they are very interdependent on each other. Because religion cannot survive without politics, and politics cannot survive religion, because end of the day, kind of take advantage of each other in a way.
Governance is from the leadership point of view, right? So when you think about it, really, what do you think is the role of citizenships? How can citizens kind of contribute for the governance to be good? Is there a role of citizens in this whole equation?
That's the for private citizen participation plays an important role, uh, because at the initial stage, even
How do
even
they do that? How do citizens contribute to that? Is I thought was
I think it's a mind psyche, even if for a school going kid, if you say that, if you let that person take responsibility, take charge of it, that decision, the child doesn't feel that I am forced to do it. The child won't come home and say, complain to the parents that, I was forced by my teacher to do a certain activity. If the teacher let the child be independent and let the child take responsibility of his or her actions, that, this is the way you're supposed to do. And if you do in XYZ factor, these are the implications. And these are, so the child is like, same way, I feel that citizen participationship, when you choose your own leader, and when you know that you are the one who've chosen it, you are the one, and the leader is kind of letting you take responsibility for your actions, in a way, subconsciously, you are happy with your decisions, and you feel that even if things are going wrong, you feel that it's your decisions, your own decisions. So you don't, there's no one to blame. So you tell yourself that, yes, I am accountable for whatever I'm doing, and probably things could have been better, but may go with the current flow and the scenario, because this is what we have chosen, this is what we are doing.
at
So,
least make the right choice, or at least go vote, if not anything else.
right, right.
Um, so actually you've donned a lot of different hats professionally. So tell me how, and I know writing is doesn't come very naturally. So how difficult was it turning author? It's a different ball game altogether, right?
I agree. I'll be very blunt and honest on this one. Since couple of decades, I would say I had this sense and dwell of learning new philosophies, exploring new things. You have this thing which keeps poking on. So I tried exploring different philosophies, from starting from I went to I would say Tushita, which is Dalai Lama's ashram, where I meditated for 10 days and understood what exactly Buddhism is. Then there are so many spiritual gurus because I'm in India. So I went to understand Sadhguru's inner engineering course. I did that. Then I went to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. I understood his courses and just wanted to explore. And then COVID happened. So the COVID time, I took a course with Harvard, understood religion, peace, and conflict management, because that was a good time. Professionally, I could understand conflict management. So doing all these things, I kind of realized, especially with the course with Harvard, where I understood peace, conflict, and management, there I realized that yes, politics and religion kind of, they align together. But at that point of time, I was not looking to write this as a book. Then closely working with UP, I wanted to be very clear. There's this. I wanted, so as a person, I always believe that mind is everything. What do you think you become? So I'm firm believer in this statement since decades, I would say. So I wanted to tell people about this, that how strong your mind is. So I wanted to be very clear on this front and write a book on that. So probably that will be my second book. And
I was
so
going to
before
ask you if there are other books
that,
coming up on the horizon.
yeah, so that will be a second book. And so before that, I wanted to understand the relation between author and the audience. And I had already researched so much on this topic, and my few mentors and my guides who are like, in politics, so they kind of, for probably their benefit, they said that probably, we should come ahead with this book, especially because officially it was supposed to be launched in Ayodhya, at the Ayodhya launch by Honorable Prime Minister. So this was the plan. But you know how politics agenda works. So unfortunately, that did not happen. But when the book was written, this was the planned agenda with the UP Chief Minister there. So I thought maybe this is a good time I can understand. My personal motive was to understand between relation between audience and the author. So this was my first book, but yeah, my focus is now more on the second book.
So what First, let me ask you this. So, since you explored so many different religions, what is the one thing that you took away about, and you actually studied this at Harvard? So, tell me, what is the one thing that you found common amongst all of these different studies, among these different religions?
That's also maybe it's a preconceived notion. I mean, I would like to give you a benefit of doubt on me on that one, but I would still believe that be it any religion, be it art, science, telling it's a Big Bang theory, the science happened, this happened, Islam, like there are like zillions of things on this planet on the talking about religion. I still feel in the end, the religion says that your mind is that strong. Your mind is that strong. What do you think you can become? End of the day, every religion talks about, they don't say that, you go to this place, you go to that place. Then everybody talks about it's all inside, it's in your body. And when you talk about that, they end up saying that if you think you can do certain things, and if you believe in a certain way, some people call it a science, that you're giving vibes to the universe, or you're manifesting. Like these days, everybody who call themselves a life coach, they would use the term manifestation, and they say if you manifest this will happen. But it has been derived from religion in a way, because if you so I would firmly say that after reading I am a seeker and a learner. I'm a lifelong seeker and learner, but whatever I have adapted till now, I would still go ahead and say that what do you think you can become, and it's all inside you. You don't need to seek anything outside.
So, if there is one thing that you want the reader to take away from your book, what would that be?
So with this book, when we are talking with Ram, God of Good Governance, it is simple for people to understand the perspective that how religion and politics can be amalgamated, and it's just a journey, interrelationship journey, conveying people with certain examples of Ram Mandir, Ayodhya, and Ram Rajya, that how it's a way of a good governance. Basically, follow the basic fundamentals which has been followed in Ram Rajya. You need to follow the same fundamentals in life for good governance. Basic aspects are, you need to be clear about things. You need to have that basic transparency. You need to be accountable. So these are the basic features which are required for the good governance. And the same has been adapted by the Ram Rajya, which we say. So if you follow the same fundamentals, yes, you will be doing good from the government point of view.
And so I was going to ask you the new writing. So your next book is, talk to me about that.
It's still, I think it's a lot to go, because as I've mentioned, I am a seeker. So every time, I end up writing, I feel, no, this is not, I still need to figure out and probably do way better. And, so I'm hopeful. I need to give a timeline to myself. Unless if I don't give a timeline to myself, I don't think so I'll be able to publish that book. It'll be just hovering on my head like a helicopter. So I would like to say by 25 end, I would like to be clear with all the thoughts, and have at least the uh, white paper of the book, and let's see how it goes further.
So, what is your message for somebody who's never written before? And, because writing is something different. So, what is your advice? Should they, how would you go about doing that? What is the best way to go about writing?
I would like to say that yes, it is not that easy to write a book. Initially, when I started writing a book, it was like it kept dealing. Then honestly, then I thought of having a book mentor, because it's not required, but then they just help you follow on your timelines. You need to tell yourself that yes, next every day. So what was so the lady Payal Thalwar, she guided me that every day all you have to do is just write 500 words. Come what may, you have to write 500 words. Unless and until you don't do that, your book is not going to get over. So yes, I was then, if I know I'm going to write 500 words, come what may, after all edits, after if and buts and everything, next 6 months, my book will be published. At least I know that. So yes, I would like to tell all the budding writers that following timelines is very important. Just have a Gantt chart on your desk, just mark with colored pens, so it's kind of motivate you rather than having the plain Excel sheet, colored timelines, and just follow the timelines. And even at times, you don't feel like writing. It's at times we are just researching, and you don't feel like penning your thoughts. The thoughts are there, they're running in your head, but you don't feel like penning it. It's totally fine. We wait for 2 days, but then make sure third day, then you're writing a long one, because it has to come. So yeah, following timelines is something I would say. Just have a Gantt chart.
So, how well has your book been received so far?
It's been good. I nationally it's been pretty good. Internationally, I thought that it would be, but then I think I have little higher expectations. So yeah,
So,
but then I think it's going good. The focus was more with uh, talking to more of the education system, and making the youth and going with the middle school children, because I honestly, while writing the book, though, I targeted them. So if you read the book, you'll even understand the language. I have not used very Shashi Tharoor language in the book. I have focused more for mid school children, just for them to understand the amalgamation.
wonderful. Thank you, Manmeet. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you, Jyotsna. Thank you so much. My pleasure.